Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Let me know you can hear me loud and clear. Hopefully you're all doing well. Morning, Jeff, Mindful Matters, Ramus, Marek. Good morning, everyone. Quite the sell-off then, eh? Quite the sell-off. Theme of the month, it seems. London having all the fun. London is definitely having all the fun. So yesterday, after I left you, we ended up not being able to pivot up towards the highs. Got trapped under that pivot low. Didn't create a bear trap there. Just washed down lower lows, lower highs. And we've extended that range overnight. All right, we've just started extending that range. Let's move this chart, shall we? Extending the range overnight. We're now heading down towards the previous week low, which will be right down at 20,075 or 72. Let's have a look. Let's get that exact. I think it's 72s. This will tell me. Come on, mouse. Yeah, about 78. All right, previous weekly low. So that's where we're attacking towards at the moment. We mentioned it yesterday, and I did mention it Monday on that sort of zombie grind up. The market didn't feel strong on that move up. That felt very, very controlled for them to be able to get an exit, for them to go risk off, right? So they ground it out Monday to the new highs. Wednesday, overnight, right, we did a weekly model. We failed to break out above Tuesday. We did it and turned back inside, and now we're in a sell model to the downside. Everything's risk off, and it's very hard to get involved here. Very, very hard, because if you go from yesterday's price action, we are a long way away, all right? All the way up here are your daily levels. All right, trading 500, 600, 700 points away now. So do you want to be shorting the lows? No, not really. I know we're looking for continuation for now, maybe until we get to that weekly low, which was at, let's say it was at 78. Let's make sure we put that in, shall we? Somewhere around there. All right, that's the weekly low. That is kind of drawing towards for now. So far, the morning session's been good. I wasn't here for this, walking the dog. Nice bear flag continuation. This is its current target on the NQ. That's current target. But yeah, we are coming down towards that lower Bollinger Band. Yeah, happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Halloween. I'm not in costume. Sorry about that. Morning, Chris, Aaron. Good morning, everyone. So coming down towards the lower Bollinger Band on the daily chart. I have very little interest in trading this right now. If you look at VIX, VIX gapped up, broke out, continuing to hold its gains above its highs. All right, so it gapped up from 2040, opening up the session at 21, I don't know, almost 40, so a point gap up. Did a small pullback into its old gap and has extended its range higher for now. So it's trying to base over that old range of 2185 to 2160. If it can hold its gains up there, I'm going to have to check the daily chart. It's got a long way to go. If it can hold its gains up here, it's going to go and attack 23s, 2370, and then we have that huge move that we did back in August, all the way up to 65s. So we are definitely in a risk-off environment right now, but I don't really want to be shorting the lows. That doesn't mean I'm interested in buying it either right now. Morning, Brian. I should have dressed up as something, shouldn't I? I did actually plan on doing it. I was going to do the Werewolf of Wall Street, but to be honest, I just totally forgot. Thought that would have been good fun. So that lower Bollinger Band on the daily. Can I put my crosshairs on here? Make it a little bit easier. Lower ball on the daily is pretty much at that old weekly low, 78. It's definitely a draw on liquidity down there for now. The thing is, I don't really want to be shorting the lows down here. But like we talked about, remember what we talked about yesterday? Let's see, do you know what, I can just do it on here. If you have a look at NQ and SPY, all right, we are trading now underneath 5-day, 20-day. SPY is about to get a cross on that 5-day, 20-day. That is a death cross. That is not a look you want to see on the market. Right, so we're doing a full mean reversion on the SPY and on the NQ, traded from the top Bollinger Band. Yesterday on the NQ, the high of the week was above the top Bollinger Band. We are about to hit the lower Bollinger Band. We are contracting, squeezing. So we failed to break out and hold above that range. Now we're dunking underneath the old range that we created for how many weeks? 3 weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days. Yeah. So 2 and a bit weeks. 3 and a bit weeks. Sorry. God, man can't count. 5-day weeks. Razorback, I should have dressed up as an astronaut. Why an astronaut? What am I missing here is the joke. So VIX continuing to break out. If we take that weekly low and turn back inside, I'd consider... Oh, right, yeah. I forgot he did that. I totally forgot. I really need a mic. I have a mic, Shane. Is the levels not good? Do I need to turn it up? I've got a mic in front of me. Is anyone else having problems hearing me like Shane, or is it just him? Yeah, I think it might be your end, Shane. James Huxley, good morning, buddy. I think it might be your end, Shane. I think it might be your end. Okay, so just be cautious here. If this was a manipulation, they're going to go and attack this high now. If we start to get through this high, this is the next level we're going to go for. It's deep pullback zone, old liquidity, VWAP. If we start to do some nasty V-shaped reversal, there's all this liquidity up here as well. Okay, so just be a little bit cautious here. I'm not looking, like I said, I'm never looking for shorts at lows. It's the easiest way to get absolutely mullered in a market is to look for shorts at a low, because the market is built to go upwards. So yes, we're in a sell-off day. We're in a risk-off scenario. I don't want to short down towards the low when we're down about 500-600 points already from yesterday's highs. We have a gap above still. I'm not saying we go and fill that gap, but I don't want to get short into the lower Bollinger Band. It's not my intention. Good chance I won't touch my PAs today, to be honest. So far, holding in those flow zones. Like I said, that lower Bollinger Band weekly low is what's looming if it wants to go and take it. Big ifs there. We're into a new H1 bar here. H1 might want to reprice up towards its old trend line and old value area low. I should probably show you all of this, shouldn't I? half asleep today. All right, so this is the old weekly low. This is all old value area low here. This is the old H1 trend, which we started breaking down. So possibly it will want to back test it. And here is your lower Bollinger Band on the daily, right here, right next to weekly low. So that's what it's looking at the moment. So this is the draw currently down here. No trades yet, Shane. I was late to the desk today. I was walking the dog. So no shorts for me off the morning bear flag breakdown. That was the nicest trade of the day, was that bear flag breakdown off the open. This is better risk because you have some clear targets and good RR, and we got stuck here. Even better trades were if you were trading early market before the open up here. This was a nice trade and continuation. I'm not going to short this, even though I think the draw is down here. I'm not really interested in shorting the lows. I'm just going to manage my risk here. But yeah, I was late. I knew this would happen a few times this week when my wife's away. I have to walk the dog in the mornings, 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. trying to get her to do her business, which is pretty early to drag my dog out of bed. But it just means I can stream for you guys. So it means often I miss the open, which is what's happened today, but that's okay. But we do have those imbalances if it wants to reprice higher. Trying to see if there's any old point of controls. There's another old point of control on the weekly low as well. So lots of reasons for it to come down and check that. Some of you have DM'd me on Discord. I'm just going to try and start to get back to some of you now. So trading lower then, looking for that weekly low. That's what it's trying to look for. Like I said, feels like an obvious draw. It's just not something I'm super interested in down here. I feel like the best risk reward is gone. It might end up being a no trade day for me, which is okay. So VIX now 322s, continuing to run higher. We are full risk off, all right? We are full risk off. You could feel this coming this week. Could really feel it coming. Yesterday was a bit of a tell, to be honest. The fact that we came back inside Monday, Tuesday range, and when we broke down in the afternoon underneath that key level that we talked about, if you remember yesterday, I was saying, questioning, is this a trap level or is this going to play out? So that level was right here. This was key, this area in here. It needed to hold this and pivot up. Once it failed to get above the IB and do that, once it failed to pivot up, underneath here became the confirmation of the sell, at least down to the IB low. So there's the sell down to the IB low, and all we've done since is a continuation of that, because all the bulls were looking for the rotation, are getting forced to stop out, probably keep dip buying, dip buying, dip buying, dip buying, forced out of the market. So we're going to trade lower and we're going to run for higher time frame levels now, and that higher time frame level is most probable to be that weekly low. Getting very close now. Good morning, Matt. Morning, Kat. Morning, everyone. Just going to take a quick look at ES because I haven't marked out its daily, weekly levels. ES is taken out previous week low. ES has a double bottom sitting at 725. That looks ripe. I don't know if it happens today. That looks ripe to get taken. And underneath that, it's got an imbalance all the way down to really 640s. So weak so far. First red week printing, really outside of the old range, extending the range. Yeah, ES can come down there. There's so many bottoms into that 24 area. I don't know if it can do it today. That's a big move. Never say never kind of attitude, I would say, but that's the area. Little bounce here then on NQ. So I just do not want to get trapped at the lows down here. The best short position was in London or just before the open or at the open. If enough shorts chase the lows, they will get stuck. Remember, we've still got earnings tonight. It's Amazon and Apple tonight. So Meta had its earnings last night. The earnings were pretty good, but it missed in terms of new users. So they sold Meta hard, currently down to 17 points, almost 3% on the day. I did, mate. I did. I don't understand. Sorry, I'm replying to James Huxley. I don't understand why we are not playing him. He looks an absolute baller in my mind. I think a lot of Arsenal fans think the same right now. He looks very, very good. I know that we need to protect him, but he looks super creative. And with Odegaard out, I'd like to see someone like that playing, you know. So just be careful if they start to taper here. Do not get stuck. If they start to taper here, they're building internal stops and liquidity to go and hunt. Yeah. Oh, really? Is he a London boy, James? So Vic's starting to fail now. Islington. Oh, yeah, I remember reading that actually. I used to live just down the road from there, Dalston, for like 5-6 years. Yeah, I also saw Casemiro's goal for United. So it seems like they fired Ten Hag and then, you know, he pulls out Worldy out of the bag. You've got to wonder how bad that dressing room was. I bet it was absolutely horrendous in there. Yeah, I would have rather Ten Hag stayed at United because I absolutely hate them, and he was killing them as a club, absolutely killing them. Okay, so there we go, searching for some of that internal liquidity. The question now is it going to base above this move and drive higher? So is it going to base around here and hold and start to pivot for a drive back into this liquidity pool here, or is this just a search and a move back down to this previous week low? Those are the questions I'm now asking. Always and if or. Those are the questions I'm asking. So VIX right now trading back down towards its breakout spot at sort of 21.85-ish. If it starts letting go of that and it heads towards its low of day towards 21, maybe it can get a relief rally here on the market. Maybe. They are starting to put, if you look at the book map now, look at all these sellers spreading their positions to the top side. 100 lots at 25, 50, 60, 75, 300, 315, 362. They're just spreading 100 lots all the way up. So you got to wonder, were they starting to bid down here and they're looking to scout positions off, or are they looking to get filled on selling continuations? There's not that much liquidity left under us. 20,100, there's almost a 200 lot, 20,075, 100 lot, and then 20,000, a 77 lot. He's been there for a long time though. So you have to wonder now, do we get a bull flag for some relief here, or are they just going to slam this back down? But yeah, that's really interesting on the book. If you have a look at that on the book, just 100 lots placed all the way up. Not often you see that on NQ. So definitely had double distribution here now. Look at the H1. All right, thin in here. New point of control right here down at 20,171. So all the time we're above that, you've got to wonder, did shorts get trapped down here at this old pivot low? Try and clean that up for you guys a little bit. So if they hold this area in here and do this, it's going to run for here. This is the next level to run to. But like I said, there's 100 lots dotted all the way up there. Looking pretty good for a bit of relief here. Remember, your counter trend, the long today would be counter trend. What's up, Tyson? Did any of you guys trading Europe get those shorts? That's what I want to know. Anyone trading Globex, Asia or London sessions, did you get those shorts? They're really, really nice. Your ATR is big today as well. All right. 250 point initial balance range. Initial balance still got 8 minutes left. But it's a decent size range today. And that's on top of a very big overnight range. So potentially this bull flag's going to go now. Just keep your eyes on this. Still has liquidity underneath. Right, still has search levels here if it really wants to dig a bit deeper, but potentially now is opening the gate for a move up, especially if VIX can start breaking down. VIX now underneath that print high of 2180 that it did before the run up and breakout this morning. So if it starts failing this and driving back down to the low 21s, market might get some relief. Just need to be careful here. If you're looking for the longs, remember your counter trend, it might just search for some liquidity. It can very easily get slammed back down because your counter trend, you will need shorts trapped at the lows for the move back up. Yeah, you'll need shorts trapped at the lows for that move back up. There's a big 5-minute imbalance that we can go and fill if we can get through really that 20,200, that psychological level. If we can get through that, we can trade 50 points up very quickly. So the bullish patterns here would be either flag here or inverse head and shoulder like this. Don't be short down here. Don't get short down here. This is where they're already stuck. Doesn't mean it can't go lower. It just means like mitigate your risk. If you're short down here and you're targeting this, what are you risking up here? It's probably a 1-to-1 at best. If you're waiting to get long here, you can risk under this low or here and targeting all the way up here. It's at least a 2R, 3R, 4R. And then the short, if it sets up maybe above this, if it starts to fail, that then becomes a better short, risking this to here. It's probably like 4 or 5R, yeah? So just think in terms of risk reward. Will help you identify whether you want to be able to trade. Foster Scott, no worries, buddy. You have a good day. Hope you're good. Thank you for your message last night. I did get back to you. Sorry, I didn't see that for a good few hours. Capped. I got part of the reversal 630 for a long. Let me have a look. Oh, nice. You were in here. Long here. For that run back up to the 20-day. Look how important that 20-day became. Mean reversion. So now it wants to attack the lower Bollinger Band like we talked about. When we get stuck beneath the 20-day, the next thing for it to go to is the lower bowl. ES looking like it wants to make a new low here, so it's getting very, very tight. And VIX trying to reprice back to 22s. So no confirmation yet. You have to see if buyers come back in here. Remember, every long is counter trend today. Every single long is counter trend. We're getting very, very close to that Bollinger Band low on the daily, which is right next to that weekly low, 20,075, 78, somewhere around here, somewhere around this white line. If we get through that, it can get weak. ES has a long way to go. Hey. So all the Mag 7 red, other than Google, because Google had fantastic earnings, so it's holding up well. Everything else getting hammered. Apple not hammered yet because it's got its earnings tonight, but Microsoft down almost 25 points. Amazon down almost 5 points. To put that in perspective, Microsoft's down almost 6%, Amazon down 2.5%, Meta down 2.3%, Nvidia down almost 4%. I'll make sure I've got that right. Is this the right column? Otherwise I'm reading the wrong column. Yeah. And Tesla down 1%. So market is heavy, tech is heavy. They are well and truly risk off into elections. Like I said, there's just too many variables right now to hold on to your positions. The last thing funds want when they've had a fantastic year of just running it up all year, especially in the Qs and in tech, is to get a limit down day on NFP or an election next week and give a ton of it back for no reason. Fresh lows here then on ES. So I'm watching to see if there's an SMT or if we're just going to continue to puke. If we're going to continue to puke, it's going to be very hard for me to get involved here. New highs on the VIX, new lows on the ES. Remember that draw on the ES is down towards 20. It's a long way. Never say never in this market, honestly. It's pretty wild. I'm back down towards the old trend line. ES new lows, no reason to long this still, no pivot above, no flipping of flow zones. Initial balance now set. So now you need to respect the initial balance on the day. So just trading lower and lower here into these H1 levels, into this Bollinger Band and weekly low. And previous week low through here, all the way down into sub 20,000. Are any of you in this short? I'm not in this short. I don't like chasing when we're down here. I really don't. We're well and truly into discount, so I really don't like chasing, but it makes it hard. If we're going to have a bleed day, it's unfortunate I wasn't here for the open. There you go, $200. Not bad. VIX failing those highs yet again. Let's see if what it does at 22 here. We're so close to those lows, it's kind of hard not to imagine us going for them, but be a monstrous move on the day from close yesterday. 600 point drop, leaving the gap. That's easily doable. Those sellers on the book is nuts, man. I've never seen anything like it. I want to see if any of them pull and start marketing out, because then that tells me that they desperately need to get out of their positions. If they're going to be passive and wait, it's very different. But if they're going to start to remove those limits that they've got set up there and start to market out, if we see some big like 100 lots come onto the tape, then they're going to be in a rush to sell. So testing IB low here. Every single structure so far is sell structure. If we keep selling, I'd be interested to see if any of these Mag 7 go SSR today. Probably Microsoft is the only one that could. I don't reckon it'll do another 4% though. So right on that IB low. This is this draw. This is still the draw, right? This weekly low is the draw. That's where the liquidity is. Big liquidity down there. The weekly time frame traders are trading in and around there. Let me check where we're at on the daily for the bulls. Yes, is at its daily Bollinger Band low. So SPY is QQQ very close. So everything coming very close to those levels. Bear with me, I will take this. Sorry about that. My best mate calling me from England. My goddaughter all dressed up for Halloween. Very sweet. Probably the hardest thing about living abroad, missing out on stuff like that. Seeing family and my goddaughter grow up. So we're just basing out at this IBL at the, or in and around that Bollinger Band that we've been talking about. If we start to go sideways here, you need to be cautious if they start to get stuck, as in the bears. All right, they will need a breakdown here. Breakdown here takes them to that level that we keep talking about. Diwali, yeah. Yeah, there was quite a few fireworks here last night. I wondered about that. I never consider fireworks for any of those celebrations, but... So testing value area low. It's just so hard to get involved here when looking at the hourly, when the pivot is all the way up at 420. And even if you're going to play the lower edge of it, it's up at 300. 200 points away. For me to short this, it goes against everything, every way that I trade. You know, even though the draw is lower, there's possible continuation. It really just makes it tough. One thing I noticed, it's changed all of these. Since I reset the computer. That's better. So watch this initial balance here. Do we get a failed auction? Is it able to extend the range into the weekly levels? So far, that H1 and H4 and daily candle are very bearish. Very bearish, with really not much pullback or relief at all for those bulls, which also means there's been no shorts covering yet. So is this the start of the massive sell-off? I thought this was going to happen after the election. Really thought this would come after the election, not before it, but last 2 days have been pretty significant, I would say. To trade from top Bollinger to lower Bollinger in 2 days on the NQ is pretty significant. So just watching here, if they have a failed auction, right, again, it would need to start pivoting above here and do something like this, and then this is liquidity. We've got a double top here, so now we know short stops are definitely up here at 200. So a very obvious level that it might want to come and seek. Right here. Internal liquidity is sat here. That's where short stops are. External liquidity is this level here. All right, that's the weekly level. Internal is up here. This is basically starting to form a range. So steep, tapering, tapering, horizontal. If it starts to trade between this, it's going to build liquidity. It doesn't mean it has to build liquidity to go higher. It might be building it to do a big move down. We don't know. If this is a drop, base drop, right, this is effectively short starting to build positions in here, trapping buyers, 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 short sellers holding, and then they get the move. Had a giant move already, so it needs to build some form of liquidity to do the next move, whatever it is. VIX again, pushing for that high of day. Not quite there yet. ES tapping on the initial balance low. Same as the Qs. So sorry, it's my dad just texting me because he sold a lot of his position last week. So he's just saying, look at the Dow and S&P. Core is at least down 10 to 13%. Confirmation will be at today's close. And I was like, yeah, big sellers on the tape the last few days. NFP tomorrow, risk off into election. A little early to tell if this is the start of the move we've been talking about. Abe, yeah, I mean, just flip your thesis around, right? If you're good in a bull market, just do exactly the same thing, same patterns, but in a bearish market. 3:45, so 8 hours. Or invert your chart. Yeah, I don't know how you do that on TradingView. Is it a minus before it? Might be a minus before the ticker. That's what it used to be on Think or Swim, I think, from what I remember. But yeah, it's interesting. Those of you who've been here from the beginning, I've been talking at length about how I think the market will, and I thought after election, do a significant dump. Thought we'd really start to puke. I didn't think it would come before election. I'm going to be honest. I thought we'd hold out until after election and then start to do the move. But this doesn't necessarily mean it's the dump. It can be the start of it. We've broken down from the range. If it closes heavy today, that's going to be a very clear signal that it wants to give back a lot. What's frustrating is how much of the time London's being able to do this move. All right, if we think about this, this is London sellers, even yesterday. London sellers, right, they're able to swing positions really nicely for these sells. Yeah, I don't know if it does it on here. Maybe it does it. Let's try. No. Anyone know how to invert your chart? I thought it was minus, but apparently not. Maybe that was just Think or Swim. So break beneath the IB low across both indexes here. VIX trading upside towards 2250 now on the VIX. Oh, press the cog and hit invert. Settings at the bottom, is it? Where's that cog? This one? Getting very close to that weekly low now that we talked about. Ah, okay. Yeah. I don't have it there on the app. But yeah, that's where I initially went to look at it, so it may be on the web. So what you're looking at here is the downloaded app rather than anything else. I'll find it though, I'll find it. But yeah, who was it that was asking? Alt +1 or Alt +I, there you go. So Abe, there are ways of just flipping your chart around to make it easier for you. That's why a lot of traders like playing the SQQQ and TQQQ for that reason. Obviously, their ETFs and their triple leverage are not ideal. Or do what Matt says, turn your monitor upside down. So look below 20,100 there, a retest of it. It's staying heavy for now. Sellers still on the tape. Telling you that weekly level is where it wants to run to. VIX really starting to get going now. 2260 straight through 25s. I'm running out of levels for VIX to look at, honestly. We're really into daily levels now. So the next hourly level will be up at 2317 on the VIX. This is a full risk off market. Through that, 2375s. I'm just going to plot all these out. 2450s. And then we're right up into the 30s. If we go up there, the market is going to get absolutely slapped. I'm just a bit devastated I'm not in this. Was convinced this was going to happen next week. Key here is how we react at this level. If we start selling this level, then I'm going to have to think that ES wants to trade down to those bottoms towards 720. And if ES is going to do that, NQ is going to get absolutely destroyed. So here's the test then, getting very close to that level, aren't we? We're tapping on the door. This is the weekly low. This is a key pivot in the market. If we start to break and hold underneath this, market's going to get destroyed. This is also the lower Bollinger. So this is the 2 standard deviation test. This is really saying something. If we start to destroy the market underneath this, this is real selling, real heaviness. What have I just done there? Oh, sorry. So we've stolen that liquidity so far. How it acts here is vital into what we're going to do. Why does it keep doing that? What am I doing? Maybe it's my mouse. So far, taking the liquidity, can't drive back upside, has potential for a serious heaviness in this market right now. Super risk off market currently. So those of you in Discord will know I talked about this at length. I just had a very bad feeling this week that something like this was coming. We did talk about it. I even said it again yesterday. It's got me spooked. It doesn't feel right. That move up on Monday felt very orchestrated, the way it moved up. Grind, and every short-term bull trap, bear trap was used. Everything was on a lower time frame. It never really pulled back to a key level, and then they sold it. They sold the highs constantly. That was very orchestrated move. So lower Bollinger Band here. If we sell this, then you've got to think ES is going to go for those. What level did I mark out? 728. Right, if we start selling this. If we can turn back inside, we are pretty extended here away from the flow zones. If we turn back inside, please stop doing that. If we turn back inside, then potentially we can trade back upside, at least for a relief, now that we've swept that weekly low. But that weekly low got taken. That was the key thing. So always worth zooming out to the higher time frames, right? We knew the draw was down there. Unfortunately, maybe some of you got it. I just was not, I didn't like the RR of finding a way to get involved here. Maybe that's just me. We knew that this was the draw. We kept talking about it over and over again. I didn't like the risk reward to get there. I always find that hard when I've woken up and we're 500-600 points down, and there's only, I mean, really from this IB low to the lows, there's another 40-50 points left, so 10% of the whole move that we've already done. I find it very hard to justify getting involved, I think is the best way of me putting it. So far, everything is a bearish continuation until it proves otherwise. VIX, again, new high day, 2273. So next level for VIX is 23s, 2315s. All right, so everything is a bearish continuation until it proves otherwise. Till it proves otherwise, we're going to assume this is the move. I know that we've taken all the liquidity, but there's no big bullish move back up above a pivot and a hold yet. Even here, couldn't do it, just fell straight back down inside. Basically, you would need to see everyone covering this level, and I don't see anything in here yet to show me that they're covering. It needs to be a big candle. If you're wondering why I'm not really trading this, I have said all week I'm going to really not be very interested this week. I just want to get through the election. I want to get through the election. I don't want my career to hinge on 1 week that happens every 4 years. A lot of unknowns here, a lot of extra volatility. I'm not going to sling my PAs around right now. Not when they're very close to payout as well. I would be careful here if we do a failed auction. If we trade back inside this level here, inside the initial balance, I wouldn't be thinking short if we get through this. If it's okay with you, team, I'm just going to grab some food really quickly. Not in anything, so quite happy to just let that sort itself out. There we go. That was quick. So far, outside the initial balance, in a trend day lower, we've taken weekly liquidity. ES still has room though. ES has a lot of room down to that 28s. VIX trading higher now, 22.82. Remember, when we like to be bullish, for bullish trend days, we like the VIX in the teens. Okay, those sellers just disappeared off Bookmap. Those sellers of those 100 lots that were stacked, they literally just pulled their orders right now. I'm not sure why, can't tell you why, but there was over 500 orders spread in 5 different lots and they've all just disappeared. So I'm going to keep my eye on and see if they come back in the tape or if they're getting frustrated and they're going to end up marketing in. Anyone that's got Bookmap, you can just roll up to look at the levels at 87, sort of around 200, 225 and above. All those sellers just disappeared. We are holding on to those weekly levels for now. Here's another breakdown. Everything's in a sell today. I'm just not interested. I'm not interested in buying this market and I'm not interested in selling the lows. VIX now approaching that 23. It's at 22.99. Big level on the VIX. Straight through it. So there's the 23.15 taken out on the VIX. Next level up, if it's going to continue to extend, is 23.75s. Those are just hourly pivots that I'm looking at. So SPY with that 5-day, 20-day death cross. Oh, I'm going to kick myself for not getting involved. It's okay. Look at the treasuries as well, all bidding up. Breakouts on the treasuries like we talked about. Was that level on ES we said? 28. 20 plus points away, not too far. It's possible. Does the Q come and test 20,000 flat? Psychological level. VIX still going. Absolute ripper. You just cannot be longing this market. We're in an absolute ripper. You got to think that low of the week on the VIX was down towards what day was this? Monday's 1890. It's trading all the way up through 23 now. Next level 23.75 and then 24.50. Those are hourly pivots. That's not psychological levels. Those are actually hourly pivots. After we did that huge sell day and the VIX ripped to 60, these are the bounces that we've had since. So that's the liquidity left on the VIX. Yeah, if you got short this morning on the open or before the open, looking very, very good. What a boring stream. Sorry, team. This is what happens when I can't be present for the opening of the day and miss the opportunities. But we've been in a sell all day long so far. Flow zones in a sell, multi-time frame sell, daily shifted to a sell, hourly shifted to a sell, everything multi-time frame sell. Just haven't been able to find a nice push back up to get involved in. Some decent volume exchanged there, maybe a start of a relief. This is actually pretty good volume coming into the market. Maybe this is a relief rally. Might try and see if I can grab a piece of this. See if we can trade back up above. Really, it's 100 through that into the initial balance. I don't really want to hold on runners, anything other than runners beyond that. This 20,100 is going to be key. There honestly is no liquidity, but there we go. Jesus Christ, nice rally. All right. Do I sell some into this or do I hold? That's the question. That volume was telling. The volume that came in here, going to have to sell a little bit into this initial balance, I think. So there's a tap of the IB high. See if I can get a fill here. Come on, don't do me dirty. Literally tapped it. Missed me by a point or so. So counter trend, you have to be aggressive with those sells and stops. Didn't get a chance to get that fill. It was so close. I was at 119. That's what I've got my initial balance measured at. So I think it missed me by, yeah, 1 point. Maybe we still get it. If we hold this big candle, this is the first sign of covering. We would need to hold here for any further upside. This could just be covered to go lower still. But if we hold these levels, bullish pattern back to IB, through IB, back to this level here. This is low-hanging fruit right now. So I'm holding on for that move. Currently long from 84s. I do want to sell some into that initial balance. Come on. Those sellers have come back on the tape, all right? They've come back on the tape. 100 lots at 87 and 200. 87 and 200. That's where those sellers are now on the tape. And another one's just popped in at 25, 225. So they would like to drag the market up there to get some fills. So it's interesting that they pulled their orders for a bit and now they're back on. Need to see this hold though. I will take a stop break even. I'm not going to risk all the way down to low of day. Need to see a very similar trade to yesterday, basically. It needs to be doing the same thing off the low counter trend. And I want to get a partial here and then hold a runner, if possible, up into this range. Very close to stopping out here. Can't believe that hasn't taken me out yet. Out there. Okay. I'll consider adding back in if we start to turn. So break even on that trade. If we're going to hold this in balance, I will get back in. Really risking that weekly low. That every pop has been sold into. That is a prime example of where people get stuck in Apex. Yeah, they get long, we do a huge move up, they can't get out. If they're oversized, comes back break even, they've blown up. They've done nothing wrong and blown up, right? So those are the things that you need to be careful of. That's why I play micros with small size when I'm playing my PAs. So it looks like they've just resold that against the IB. So trend A confirmed. If we get break of structure under here, lower, seeks lower. Oh. Holding that volume imbalance for now. Those sellers are still there, and that buyer at 20,000 is still there. I can't believe I didn't get that fill. Oh well. I mean, how much would I have made on 2 micros? Not a lot of money. It was a decent move. Yeah, I mean, I was in it, legal immigrant, but took out break even. I was only 2 micros in it, so not a lot, because we're counter trending with fishing until it confirms. But I couldn't get that fill to get one off and then think about what's next. But nothing's held, so we took the break even trade there. So like I said, if it didn't hold that imbalance on that move up, then expect lower prices, because everything long is counter trend today. Got to think they just want to draw it into 20,000 now. Every 10-minute bar on the VIX printing upside all morning. "15-minute bars and 5-minute bars on the Qs are pretty telling. Pretty telling today. No Change of character to the upside, not absolutely nothing yet. Yeah, exactly, Matt. I'm interested what they do after hours, though. Do they continue to sell on Apple earnings? Apple now down $3 on the day. Do they sell it? Their earnings would be good. They might miss on the 16 sales, but it's probably a bit early for that quarter over quarter. I'm just interested what they do. Yeah, Google pretty much flat. It was green on the day and then it went red, and now it's trying to go red to green. And we've got 45 minutes left into lunch. Look at that, every single pop sold into. It's very telling today. I don't even think I'm going to try anything for the rest of the day. I'm not going to try longs, and I don't want to short down here. That short at 200 actually would have been decent now, wouldn't it? I really didn't think, I know I said the draw is down here into that weekly low, but I wasn't convinced we would do it in one day. But we have. Let's fix this green screen. Quite a lot of bleed here. Another relief pop here. They're going to have another go. They're just going to slam this again. Could be the start of it. I'm watching a 5-minute bar on ES here. Maybe, just maybe. VIX with starting to fail underneath those, what was that key level that I put in? 23.13, 23.15. Yeah, exactly. No buyers are stepping up. The only thing that will happen today to cause a move up will be shorts getting in late rather than buyers really stepping in, would be my thought. You're not going to get much genuine buying in this market, not in these conditions. Like I said, who's buying this market before election? You're going to be risk off. The market's near all-time highs. You're going to take some profits, which is what you're seeing. Doesn't matter what the earnings are, it seems. They're taking profits. Everything's been baked in. a little stab at this because we held that imbalance. Nice. Can we extend here? Nice. Nice. Moving my stop into the money now. Looking for a run through the initial balance low because we held that imbalance and we held the weekly. If it stops me out in the money, again, it's fine. Everything's counter trend here. I'm not going to fight this at all. Either goes or it doesn't. I want to see it clear 100. If it doesn't, if it keeps trading inside 100, I will stop out. It needs to hold this 100, put the squeeze on, trade straight through the initial balance, and then I'd like to hunt towards 57s, towards this old trendline liquidity down here. If it can hunt up here through the IB low, but I will protect into the initial balance low. Right, stop 15 points in the money now. Lovely, moving up with this. I'm aggressive with my stop here because I don't want them to flush it like they did on that last time when I didn't get filled. So I'm moving my stop up aggressively with this. Very close to taking me out. If it wicks down, it's going to take me out. Okay, I came out there. I don't like the action that I'm seeing on the tape. It's probably going to squeeze now that I've said that, but I don't want to give everything back. But that ended up being a pretty good trade. So we got in from 83s, sold out into 105. I'll re-add if it starts confirming above the IB. Okay, I'll think about it if it starts confirming above the IB. But what helped me there was looking at the VIX. All right, this right here, VIX started failing above this key level, trading inside, and the ES on a 5 and 10 minute bar starting to pivot up. All right, that's what helped me with my thesis and timing. I can show you execution here on the PAs. All right, once it held this imbalance, hopefully you can see that. No, you can't. Once it held this imbalance, all right, had one shot here, out, had another shot here, took the profit. Possibly too early, but I'm just really not willing to get hammered on this. As we came into that level where we saw that seller last time, I didn't want to give him a chance to crush me. Is the best, is probably the best way of me putting that. But you're into the IB now. It is volatile, all right? This is a volatile market. Just be careful. When you counter trend like I've been, where is this bleed from? This is annoying me. VIX really starting to fail here now. Starting to go sideways. Remember, this is the IB though. They've protected this all day. So this felt like a good trade from here back to here. Imbalance here, failure underneath weekly low, pivot up. From here, I don't know what we're going to do. If we're going to do this or if we're just going to reject and go lower. Which is why I got very aggressive with the stop. At least we got a trade. Wasn't the best trade, but we got something. Flow zone's getting very close to flipping now as well. On the 1 minute. Just on the 1 minute. For momentum, that is, not for the deep pullback, right? If momentum gets through deep pullback, then we can really start to push upside. I'm glad I sold now, otherwise it'd be coming back towards a break even. That would really piss me off if they'd done that twice on me. Again, momentum has been in a sell all day. So every single long is counter trend, which means you need to be aggressive with your stops. Tapping on that IB now. I'll just say that we're in a range here now. This is your new range, probably over lunch, in here. And it's underneath the IB. Until it gets above this range and holds, there's no confirmed long for a move back up to here. This is your weekly low that we've already swept. The only thing I'm looking at that makes me think we might go lower is just the ES. That target down towards 728. Other than that, I think we're pretty extended. There is chance of a rally if shorts start to cover into lunch. That's basically all it is. If shorts start to cover into lunch, there is a chance of a rally, I would say. Not a big move, but like just a pullback. If you look at the H1, H4, we could easily come back to like 160s, 150s, 160s, 176. Yeah, I'm getting tempted to get off because I had two break evens and one winning trade. And in market conditions like this, the longer I sit here, the more temptation is going to build to do something. And the best moves have happened. The best moves were those shorts when I wasn't around. The best moves were those shorts. The easiest trade today was this. This was lovely. High of day on New York, couldn't get through it. Low of day, opening range breakout, dump. Really, really simple, easy trade. That was the easiest trade on the day. Yeah, it could easily do 30%. Easily, even 50%. But really, you get I've got no confirmation of that until it gets through that initial balance low. And like I said, the only thing that has me slightly spooked is the ES. If the ES wants to trade another 30 points down to go and take out those weekly levels, it can. I'll show you what I'm talking about. On ES, this chart right here. Let's go to a daily. These right here, look at all these wicks. That, for me, smells like stops. So potentially it wants to go back into that. Would mean a very big sell-off. We're talking about selling off basically the whole month's range, right, from this high in a day, because we're going to get into September levels. So in fact, let's look at, and we have gone month to month here. Oh. $21. What did I say? 28. So we were very close. Very, very close. Yeah, 28 to 21. 28 to 20, so might as well call it 30 to 20. I just wonder if it wants to go there. Yeah, not easy, not easy. If you didn't get that short at the beginning of the day, I don't like shorting lows, as we all know. Doesn't mean I'm always looking for buys at those lows. I'll try it when it sets up, but I've had a couple attempts down here. I really think now it's just building a range, and until we get enough bids above that initial balance and turn a squeeze on, there's no real reason to buy this. And I'm running out of reasons to short it because there's just nothing for me to drive to. I guess in hindsight, I could have looked at this as a trap, but there's not much here to get involved in. Maybe this sell signal here, partial here, and I'd be out. This is a hard move though. W, pivot, fails. So where are you really shorting? I guess here, that's just not a short I love when we're down 600 points already. So I'm not annoyed at myself for not taking the shorts. I don't think really there's been ample opportunity. This is not a short I like underneath IB low. I would normally like that. I don't like it when we've already dropped so much and the target's here. If we look at the IB low here and the IB high way up here, right? I hate that. That's not nice. If the target was down here, then it could have made sense. But I think that's what's tough in trend days, right? Once we take the liquidity, it gets really hard to look at anything else. To think, yes, we're going to keep going lower, but it will keep going lower if buyers don't show up. Or if buyers do show up and they keep getting washed out. So a bit like me the first two times I took break-evens, if those guys didn't take break-evens and they're building positions, right, if you've got buys here and buys here and buys here and buys here, maybe they tried again here, their stops are here, that will be enough liquidity for a new leg down when they stop out. Which is why I always say when we're counter trend, we're very aggressive with our stops. Do not want to get washed out of the move. But yeah, we're right on that lower Bollinger, man. Right on it. Pretty much to the tick. So from a weekly point of view through these 905s, yeah, this could get nasty real quick. 225, 993. I mean, I guess on the weekly we can afford a lower high. Can afford a lower high somewhere around here. Got a weekly imbalance here. We can afford a lower high in here to hold. I'd say if it dunks through that over the next quarter, we would be in big trouble on the market. Big ifs. Big ifs. But yeah, looking at this, the sell opportunity was up here. Here, breakdown of here. After that, it gets a little bit tricky, doesn't it? To look at this range and think I'm going to sell down here. It gets much harder. Do you know what, team? I'm going to call it early there. I'm green on the day, and on a day like this, I will happily take my money and run when I haven't been able to get in on the short. I'll take my money and run. Close the screens. I'm risk off right now, as I keep saying to everyone in my room, be very careful. I'm risk off. I was worried about an event like this happening. Would love to be in an event like this, but when you miss it, the temptation is to try and pick bottoms, and you must not do that. All right, so we tried to play a couple of squeeze plays, but that's it. And I'm not going to sit here and watch it drip lower without me, because then I think the temptation to FOMO in will start to build. We've got NFP tomorrow. I'm not going to say anything, actually. Let's just see what the numbers come out with NFP. Let's just see. If they wanted to take this back up, they will. But if those numbers come out poor, they can do some damage here tomorrow. In a risk-off environment, if you've got no bidders on the tape and everyone's selling and those numbers come out heavy and you get new shorts coming to market, it's dangerous. All right, it's dangerous. So let's just see. Until then, I'll see you same time tomorrow. Please trade safe. Please use hard stops. Please don't guess the bottoms. If momentum's there and you want to play a scalp like I did, sure, play it. But remember, the flow zones are in a sell. If you just go up any time frame right now, they won't have shifted. Even a 2 minute. Look, 2 minute is why I like playing a 2 minute. Very clean. We're in a sell down. No reason to get long here. All right, we had a couple attempts. Enough. Just let it sell off. Either be with it or don't bother. All right, until tomorrow, please trade safe. Please drop me a like and subscribe underneath. And yeah, 10 o'clock tomorrow, I will be back. Let's have some fun for NFP. Enjoy Halloween. Peace out.